Daniel Marins, what do you make of a possibility between Ashley Judd and Mitch McConnell for the U.S. Senate in Kentucky?
I think it's interesting, David. It certainly would, I think, given Mitch McConnell's unpopularity and sort of the responsibility that he's seen to bear for some of the broader failures of the Republican leadership, he may be something of a soft target. I mean, keep in mind, I think it was back in 2008 when President Obama first ran. There was a tight race there in Kentucky. The Democrats are not going to have those coattails come 2014. It's going to be a midterm election, unlike sort of the presidential elections when Democrats can maybe inch up in Kentucky on sort of the kind of blue-collar economic populism of a candidate like Jack Conway back in 2010 even. But I think, look, here's my concern. My concern is just that Ashley Judd may not be the best candidate for this spot from the perspective of Democratic Party. The Kentucky Democratic Party, when you do succeed, it appears to be that you succeed with a coalition of urban liberals, yes, African Americans, yes, but also sort of blue collar, perhaps coal mining community types, people that are interested in a government that's want to look out for them, protect them from the big banks, from corporations, perhaps protect their Social Security and Medicare. And I don't know that the sort of spitting image of that is an out-of-towner, no matter how proud she makes the residents of Kentucky. I could be wrong, but sort of the things that made her vulnerable in that Rove ad would really make her vulnerable again, sort of in any event, perhaps even in a Democratic primary. What I'm wondering is where is John Yarmuth in this? Why is he sitting this one out? He's someone we've had on the show a number of times. He's an impressive spokesman on kind of the national stage, but who really attends to sort of Kentucky's local concerns, but has made himself a major player in Congress.
I'm with you. I think the Democrats might be wise to get somebody who's been around politics, who understands politics in a very sort of grassroots level, like a John Yarmuth, to run against Mitch McConnell. I think in the end that would probably be a better race for the Democrats. But it's certainly, in terms of raising money and possibly attracting a lot of, I mean, it's a gamble to go with Ashley Judd, and it's a gamble that could pay off or it could hurt in a big way. One of the reasons that I think Republicans are so concerned about Ashley Judd is there was recently a public policy polling group survey about a hypothetical matchup between McConnell and Ashley Judd. And in that matchup, Mitch McConnell led by only 4 points. And it also showed that Mitch McConnell is the most unpopular senator in the United States. He's got a 55% disapproval rating compared to just 37% net approval rating. In other words, he's underwater by 18 points. You were talking about the race that Mitch McConnell had in 2008. He defeated Democrat Bruce Lunsford by 6 points, and that was at a time when John McCain carried Kentucky by 16 points. And then, oh, by the way, Mitt Romney carried by 23 points. So there's a certain drag that Mitch McConnell has. And a couple of the other things about Ashley Judd, and again, she's a graduate of the University of Kentucky, although she got a master's degree from the Kennedy School at Harvard. She's been very active in several causes, including AIDS prevention, women's equality, anti-poverty initiatives. She frequently attends University of Kentucky basketball games, and anybody who's familiar with college basketball knows that if you show up at Rupp Arena, that is worth at least 25 points right there in terms of your polling. Her ex-husband was a 3-time winner of the Indianapolis 500, Dario Franchitti, although they just announced their divorce, so she may have some issue in terms of her family. But and then the final thing about the poll is that her favorability rating, according to this poll, was 42%, while her unfavorable rating was 36%. And then 22% of voters are not sure, which is why you get the Republican then thinking very nervous about Ashley Judd, that if she gets out of steam, she raises a lot of money, and all of a sudden they feel like, okay, we need to define her before she has an opportunity to define herself. We need to go after the 22% who don't really know who she is. And by the way, let's make this early on, let's make this a referendum not on Mitch McConnell, but let's make it about Ashley Judd and whether Kentucky should welcome a Hollywood liberal celebrity in as the next senator from Kentucky. So fascinating stuff. And Daniel, I get your point. I think John Yarmuth would actually be better for our politics if he was running on the Democratic side of this against Mitch McConnell. But there is something kind of cool, I guess, or just in terms of the raw star power, this would be a heavyweight matchup between Mitch McConnell and Ashley Judd, with them both representing very different aspects of who we are as Americans.
Yeah, David, I mean, look, at this stage, it's very early to tell. I don't know that John Yarmuth has been polled because I don't think that he's interested in it in the race at all. But certainly he also represents Louisville, which is sort of the most cosmopolitan liberal part of the state. He may very well have run into the same issues without the kind of name recognition that Ashley Judd has. And it is sort of interesting, I think, that we tend to sort of pigeonhole women, and particularly women celebrities without political experience, as kind of, well, it's all about the star power, it's all about the fame. She does have a master's in public policy from Harvard. That says something. She's obviously extremely intelligent and accomplished. And, you know, when a celebrity gets involved in politics at this level, rather than at the level of, let's say, a pet cause, it and again, I don't want to denigrate the pet causes. I'm just stepping in it here. But I think that this is worth a second look. And you know, I initially came out on the skeptical side, but really it's just a matter of what sort of demographics you're targeting, what crosstabs you're targeting. For all I know, Ashley Judd may be very popular amongst sort of the blue collar set in Kentucky. Obviously, coal is a big issue out there, and Mayor Bloomberg and a number of sort of his allies in the natural gas industry have teamed up with sort of an oddball coalition. The Sierra Club, Mayor Bloomberg, and the natural gas lobby are trying to shut down the coal industry in West Virginia and Kentucky by sort of effectively muscling them out of business. And you know, in the long term, obviously that's very good for us in terms of fighting climate change. In the short term, there are a lot of sort of high school educated people that have spent their lives working in these jobs that pay decent wages and benefits that stand to see really drastic economic problems, you know, if this sort of plan succeeds. And that's an issue that I'm going to be looking for in this Kentucky race, because it's going to take a smart, strong, economically sensitive Democrat to not sort of just make this an issue just about the environment, but to make this an issue about people and create a real transition plan if we are really moving away from coal.
Agree. And I think these are complex issues that need, you know, complex solutions. And if, you know, hats off, if Ashley Judd is willing to jump in and understand the details and the nuances and the complexities of everything, that's great. And there's some indications that she's willing to do that. I understand she had a great meeting with folks over at Emily's List to talk about her political perspective and what she's willing to do and what she's willing to learn. And I think if she's willing to sort of take this stuff seriously and not just see this as using her star power, her celebrity power, but actually get in there and try to understand these issues and then make a persuasive case, more power to her, Ashley Judd.